When Christians, or followers of any other religion, debate atheists, one subtopic that comes up, although not as often as it should, is what level of evidence should persuade the atheist. Broadly speaking, such a standard is simple and obvious. Two conditions need to be met in order to persuade the rational atheist. Condition 1. We must establish a fair epistemology which is designed to accurately model reality and is not specifically designed to support a certain worldview. Condition 2. Such an epistemology should lead to the conclusion that Christianity is true, without also being able to conclude that a worldview mutually exclusive to Christianity is also true. If condition 1 is failed, then the evangelist is guilty of special pleading. If condition 2 is failed, then Christianity has not actually been demonstrated to be rational. So let's break this down a little bit. In regards to condition 1, an epistemology is the framework by which we acquire and justify beliefs. Science is the application of the philosophical discipline of epistemology. Everyone, whether they understand it or not, has an epistemology, as everyone acquires knowledge and beliefs throughout their life. Let's suppose that someone is claiming that they can use black magic to call down lightning to strike down their enemies. How do we know whether or not to accept such a claim? Just because someone makes such a claim does not mean that it is true. People lie or are mistaken. Even if a group of people corroborate that claim, it is possible that they are lying, engaged in a group hallucination, or have been tricked. If the magician were to demonstrate their power to you in person, that would give you a higher degree of confidence. Yet they might be staging the whole thing, an event that would be more likely than someone actually calling down lightning. If you were to set up a test and not let the magician interfere with the conditions, and the magician managed to call lightning against the target 50 out of 50 times, then you have very strong reason to believe the magician. It helps if you set up a control test, wherein, for example, you might try praying to the arbitrary god Arbitros, this with the expectation that lightning requests will not actually do anything. When, in the same controlled conditions, you find that black magic works and prayers to Arbitros do not, then you have excellent reason to believe the magician. This doesn't mean that the magician's power works for the same reason he thinks it does. It might be magic or alien technology or psychic powers. But you have established that the phenomenon of calling lightning actually happens. I have just laid down a condensed lesson on how we know things. But whatever your epistemology is, you need to be consistent with it. The miracles of Jesus ought to be judged similarly to other faith healers recorded in the Roman Empire. The visions and miracles of Mormon prophets ought to be judged in a similar manner to the witches of Salem. Now suppose you were feeling mischievous and said that whatever was written in Arbitros's holy book, the Arbitrarium, is true by definition. One problem with that is that anyone can do a similar thing with the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, etc. One cannot justify giving such a privilege to a text on pain of special pleading. It is dishonest because by deciding that your holy book is true by definition, you are starting with your conclusion and working backwards to support it. To reiterate what I just said, to tailor your epistemology to produce your desired conclusion is special pleading. When you start out, you do not know what is truth, and your goal should be to discover the truth, whatever it may be. I've already touched on condition 2. If your epistemology allows you to believe in the resurrection of Jesus, would it also accept the existence of actual witches in Salem? Would it also accept Bigfoot and alien abductions? More importantly, would it accept miracle reports from Hindus and Muslims? If an epistemology permits you to label one religion as true and also label a mutually exclusive religion as true, then you don't actually have justification for believing either religion. Now let's make this real. How do we apply these criteria in evaluating Christianity? We embrace a scientific method to satisfy the first criterion. If the scientific method is lacking in some sense, then we improve it. That's how science works. As for the second criterion, there are a large number of claims made by Christianity, many of which are falsifiable or even testable. In order for Christianity to be true, theologically significant miracles need to have happened, and claims Christianity makes about the ongoing state of affairs need to be true. So what do I mean by theologically significant miracles? When I use that term, I refer to miracles that are indispensable to the doctrines of the religion in question. In the case of Christianity, this includes creation as described in Genesis, includes the Exodus, and the resurrection of Jesus. As for claims about the ongoing state of affairs, the Bible makes grand claims about the power of prayer. Matthew chapter 11, verses 23 and 24. Truly, I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, "Go, throw yourself into the sea," and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. So, according to the Bible, miracles can happen by way of prayer. Jesus is known for his healing miracles, as are the apostles in the book of Acts. Indeed, one of the most common and sincere prayers is a request for the healing of a sick loved one. So what happens when we try to confirm the power of prayer? If you study the power of prayer, comparing the outcome of patients for whom prayers to Yahweh were made, and patients in the control group for whom prayers to Arbatros were made, you'll fail to find a significant difference. Prayer studies inevitably come up with a null result. This falsifies a claim that is an indispensable part of Christianity. This, in combination with the absence of evidence or even the falsity of historical theologically significant miracles, constitutes a categorical failure of Condition 2. This is the bridge the apologist has to cross. I fear that establishing the truth of Christianity may indeed be impossible. However, if, while we accept the scientific method to fulfill Condition 1, the evidence somehow turns in favor of the apologists so that they can satisfy Condition 2, then Christianity will indeed be shown to be true, at least insofar as it is factually true. Whether or not we should submit to it if it were demonstrated is a topic I hope to cover another day. Cheers.